Hi guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Flaneur Talks. I'm your host Amber, and I'm here with Melina and Zaria. On today's episode, we're just focusing on anime, so I'm just going to kind of start off with a question for my other hosts, seeing as we all really like anime. So just for, I'm going to choose Zaria. What anime are you watching at the moment?
Oh gosh, I'm watching quite a few at the moment. So I've actually got a list in front of me. I'm very prepared for today. So I'm watching Bang Dream season 2. So that's kind of like a music anime. You know, your general idols, like school idols, singing, making music with all your friends. No Game, No Life. Vinland Saga. Yeah. Oh, No Game, No Life. Have you seen it?
Of course, one of my favourites.
Melina, have you seen it?
No, and once again, this is one of the ones where I meant to watch it, it went on the list, and I just never got round to it. I'm that person. I feel like I'm probably the most normie of us all, and you'll find that out through the episode. Everyone's just going to be talking about, like, all these really obvious anime things, and I'm just going to be here like, yes, sure, okay.
What's your favourite anime? Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
What was it? Vinland Saga, but I've only just started that, so I don't really have as much of an opinion on that than I do with like the opening, because I love the band. And I'm watching The Promised Neverland season 2 as it comes out. Although I haven't watched the second episode just yet. And finally, I'm rewatching all of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, because that's essentially one of the first anime I ever watched ever, so it's more of a nostalgia thing.
Yeah, that's fair game, to be honest. And there was quite a few number of new ones in there that I've seen that you've got in there, like The Promised Neverland as well. That's only just airing now, so most people can probably catch that on Funimation if they want. Comes out every Friday. That helps people there.
We're not sponsored.
Shameless promotion.
Wish we were sponsored.
Funimation, if you're listening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see kind of we've got a mixture there. Melina, have you got any that you're watching at the moment?
Yeah, well, currently I'm just watching Dororo, thanks to Azaria's recommendation. Yeah, I got kind of just drawn in by the first episode and just how insane it is. But now it's getting like real sad and emotional. I'm just like, oh, okay. But yeah, I love a weird anime.
Just hitting you in the feels.
Yeah, like it had no right to do this.
Fair game.
What about you? What have you been watching?
Well,
I'm pretty sure there's quite a few.
Yeah, as I said, I am one of those that will watch several at the same time. So at the current moment, I am rewatching Demon Slayer. I'm sure everybody knows what Demon Slayer is at the moment, with the film obviously currently out. I am also watching Plastic Memories. Saddest thing I've ever watched to this day. I'm crying every episode, which is absolutely insane. That's kind of like on the side of looking at robots and a kind of slice kind of area. Then I've got the quintessential quintuplets, big mouthful. That's a romance about five siblings and a boy that they like about studying, you know. I also have started The Promised Neverland, like Zaria said. That's obviously just coming out with season 2, and episode 2 has just come out today. And Horimiya. Now, Horimiya does hold a big piece of my heart because it's my favourite manga as well, and I was so happy when they decided to turn that into an anime. And it's currently on Funimation as well, and episode 2 should be out tonight, hopefully, fingers crossed. But I'm actually looking so forward to just getting into those kind of animes as well. So big list there, but we'll keep going as we go.
Yeah, it seems like you're a bit of a fan of the emotional ones.
Yes, I would say so. We like to cry every now and again.
So what would you say is your favourite anime then?
So my favourite anime, I've got 2. I'm going to say 2 totally different genres, I'd say as well. So I've got Fruits Basket. I think we all know about that one. So I love the original one. Yep, the original. And I do love the brand new one that came out as well. It holds a piece of my heart. I called one of my hamsters after one of the characters in there, Kyo.
You did?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he was a little ginger hamster as well, so we went with the character. Loved it. And one that people may not be so familiar is Terror in Resonance, which is about terrorism in Japan, it was quite a good anime in forwards of showing like a different side of things and just showing like terrorism and how they kind of battle that into animes and things. And I thought that was just such a good one. And I keep going back to that. It keeps coming on Netflix every now and again, like coming off for a month and then going back on as well. So that's one to watch out for as well, I'd say.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think going back to Fruits Baskets, that's like, I do like that the original and the remake have some differences because you can enjoy both at the same time. Like, I am really enjoying the remake and how they've like kept closer to the manga with this one, and all the characters that got left out of the original. It's so cool to see them in. But I also like that the a lot of the original voice actors came back for it.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
makes me so happy and nostalgic.
And just the new style that they've done it in as well. It's completely like brand new style of animation that they tried as well with it, which made it even better as well.
Oh yeah, it looks so pretty. I mean, like, I think we all know that early 2000s animation wasn't the best look-wise.
Yeah, big eyes. They had such big eyes.
Like the really wide faces.
Yeah. What about you, Zari? What's your favourite anime at the moment?
At the moment,
At the moment or in time, what would you say?
Oh, that's actually a really difficult one because I'll watch like a lot at the same time, and then I'll like all of them kind of equally. So out of the ones I've watched recently, because I've recently finished Dororo, it will be Dororo. Because it's just really gripping. It's like, you know, a historical kind of thing, and that kind of thing, apart from the supernatural aspect of it, things like that kind of, you know, may have happened in Japan at the time. Melina's the history person, so I'd need to verify. Monsters roamed, and there was a man called Shakimaru roaming the land at the time. So, you know, it's interesting to think that could have happened in the past, apart from, you know, your dad kind of doing that to you. I'm not going to say anything specific,
no spoilers, please.
But yeah, let's just hope your situation is better than Shakimaru's. Poor guy.
And what anime do you always recommend, Zari? What do you think? What kind of thing would you say for that?
What do I always recommend? It depends what genre you're into. Because for people who haven't watched anime before, haven't considered it, or, you know, you might be the kind of person who's like, oh, anime, it's for nerds, it's for losers, I won't like it. It depends what genre you go and watch. So if you're someone who's quite shall we say sensitive to maybe blood and such, I don't think going out and watching Another or Blood C or Blood Plus is a good idea. So it really depends
calling
on
me out.
It really depends on what kind of thing you're into. So if you'll go on Netflix, if you pick a genre and then you just, you know, go onto a different website and put in that same genre anime, you will find anime that you find interesting. For me, I'm into too many genres, so I can't recommend a specific one. Like, I started with a relatively long one, and I say long because it's long in my opinion, so about 64 episodes.
What was your first one?
It was the original Full Metal Alchemist, not Brotherhood. And I only got into anime because I was like, I don't want to do my German homework. Yeet. And then that was kind of just a rabbit hole for me because I never looked back since then, and to this day I still don't remember anything I learnt in German.
Priorities. That's right. Yeah, I think I agree with, like, recommending is quite difficult, but I always try and steer towards sort of the lighter stuff, because I think anime can get really violent and really tragic, and they really don't hide away and shy away from the very difficult subjects. They just kind of throw them into everything. So I always try to start with like a comedy series or if it's like a mecha or something more on the supernatural side, that it's more like lighthearted and focused on the plot of moving forward rather than the plot of like specific characters, because when it's like a character driven anime, I think that's when it gets like real sad really quickly. So like for me, my favorite would be like Code Geass, because I just think the storyline and the ending, it's just so iconic. Thinking back to it, like I can literally remember watching the ending and I think I just sat sobbing, but I was absolutely just like, oh my god, what did I just watch? That's insane. And I think like that would be a good one to start off with, because it's kind of got, you know, action, so it keeps you like interested. But I think at the same time I would maybe get people to watch like Ouran High School Host Club, because it is just a comedy, it's funny, it's light-hearted in a similar way to Fruits Baskets, but it doesn't have like the trauma of Fruits Baskets. So yeah, what about you, Amber?
Well, you know me, I like my action, so it's got to be Sword Art Online. You know, I like those ones that are very much, oh my gosh, doom, glory, oh no, doom, and then, oh, happy ending. One of those. And I would say Vampire Night as well. So for all those people out there that I know have seen the Vampire Diaries and they've seen probably Twilight in those times, try this anime, because it'll change your mind on what vampires kind of look at in that perspective compared to the anime world. Because Vampire Night is just on a whole level.
I mean,
Azari, you've seen it as well, and so have you, Millie, I'm guessing.
I would just like to preface that we watched this in the height of the vampire craze back in the day. It's probably not something I would have gravitated towards now, but at the time, you know, my little 14-year-old heart was absolutely in love with the ideas and of a school that has, you know, half a vampire population, half a human population. It's just like, oh, this is perfection. And, you know, looking back, it was a choice.
Yeah, I mean, me and Azaria, I know that Azaria definitely had one of the cosplays for that, and I remember that we did that at school one time.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know where the cosplay is now for it. It's probably like in the loft or wherever. And it's probably not going to see the light of day for a very long time.
Oh, but those were fun times. So, Melina, what would you class as like the worst anime you've kind of watched in your sense?
Oh, well, this is a big one, because I think it's something that as you get older, you know, you look back on animes that you watched and you think, like, why did I like that? And for me, a big sort of like trope or a big genre has always been like a reverse harem. Like, I'm a big fan. I don't know why specifically. Like a normal harem, I'm like, ew, no, don't want to deal with like one guy and a million girls, but you know, one girl and a million guys, perfect. That's what I want to see. So someone told me to watch Brothers Conflict. I watched the entire thing just because I thought, like, this is hilarious. Like, somebody's genuinely made this, and somebody thought this was genuinely like a good idea, and it's just absolutely surreal. It's basically like, if you know that Wattpad genre that's like One Direction has bought me. It's kind of like that, but as an anime. This girl's dad marries a woman who has like a million children, or it's the opposite way around. Her mum's married a guy with a million children. I can't remember which way it is. And they're all boys, and of course they all fall in love with her, but then she also has like a hamster that's in love with her at the same time. And that was like a whole thing. Yeah, it was just weird. Just weird.
Zara, have you got your worst anime that you've watched?
There are two that spring to mind immediately. Honestly, I'm not sure if this counts because I couldn't get through episode 1. But Beastars, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that because there are quite a lot of people that defend Beastars like with their dying breath. Like they're like, oh no, it's, you know, you just have to watch the rest of it and get into it. I couldn't get into it. I honestly couldn't. and no matter what, I would not be able to watch it, honestly. I forgot what the second one is now. My mind's gone completely
To be
blank.
fair, on note, like, I've not been able to watch Beastars. I don't think you have either, have you, Melina?
No, can't get past the furry aspect of it all.
I don't know whether it's our generation or it's people like that. Maybe, I don't know. But there seems to be, because obviously the modern world is changing, the anime style and things are changing as well, especially on Netflix with the Netflix originals. They're something else. They are.
Oh, it's like you can kind of tell when it's an American production company who's trying to replicate what they see on anime, but they can't do it because it's something that's so uniquely Japanese.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think any other company or any other country could get away with half of the storylines and make them so good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But there has been a bit of a discussion on Twitter that I've seen regarding Beastars. I remembered it when you said furries, Melina, is that people are kind of putting zoophiles and furries in the same category when it's not necessarily the case. I know that's not what I'm saying. It's personally not my favourite type of genre, Beastars. In my most humble opinion, they could have done it with humans and most likely had the same effect. It's just, in my opinion, I find it a bit weird that they're using anthropomorphic animals to kind of get their point across. But other people like that, so that's absolutely fine. I'm not saying it's like, don't watch it because I don't like it. But, if you want to try it out and watch it, go ahead. But it's just not my cup of tea. And, it's not wrong with that. There are people out there who do like Beastars. Go do you, man. It's 2021. Do whatever suits you best, mate.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
We're not shaming. No, I mean, if your only issue with it is that it's the animal aspect, then yeah, the storyline, who knows, that might still be good. So yeah, give it a watch if it's not something that would creep you out. Go for it.
That's true, yeah. Not that it would deter you. On that kind of note, I think mine, obviously, that I tried to get into, because I know so many people do like this at the moment, but I just couldn't, was My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu. I could probably get through 5 minutes, which is not like me. I like those kind of animes. I'm very much into the love and that kind of aspect, but this one I just couldn't get into. I don't know whether it was because it's got the kind of comedic aspect to it. And I kind of like more ones that are like a slice of life kind of thing. But that's just one that I've not seemed to get into. But it is obviously on one of the top 10s, I think, on Crunchyroll at the moment as well. So it is supposed to be a really good anime if people do want to watch that. But for me, just couldn't get into that one. Yeah, I mean, what kind of genres would you say is your favourite? Melina, I'll go with you.
I like quite a few. I like slice of life just because I think it's a nice, calm thing to watch sometimes, especially if you're between watching some really hard-hitting anime or just TV shows in general, to then go and watch a slice of life. I think that's always just super useful. But I always think at the same time, slice of life has to be a sort of 12 episode limit, because I think after a while it does start to get a bit monotonous with what happens. Other than that, I do like a bit of action, and adventure. Yeah, I do kind of like the supernatural stuff, but again, those ones always tend to be the ones that also get real sad, and I'm not a fan of crying when I'm watching things. I cry enough in life. I just want to watch things for fun.
Yeah, that's fair enough. What about you, Zari? What's kind of your favourite genre, would you say?
Let's have a think. I'm kind of I like different genres, but the ones that come to mind are the ones that, slice of life, pretty happy, things like Blend S, for example. It's just everyday life, happy friends working in a cafe together. Yeah, that's cute. And then I'll go watch Dororo, where people are getting sliced in half and stuff. A really big trend with me is music anime, so things like Love Live Bang Dream, as I mentioned. Given, that was an excellent anime. I would highly recommend that to anyone. Anything to do with games as well, so New Game or Gamers. Kind of stretching out into, I'll stretch out into like Edo Manga Sensei, because that's quite good as well. So, you know, that kind of thing. So it depends what mood I'm in. If I'm, you know, feeling kind of low, I'll watch happy slice of life stuff. If I'm feeling, you know, like I want to watch something that's a bit more in depth, you know, something with an actual storyline or whatever, I'll go ahead and watch, like, I've mentioned this like a million times, but I'll watch Full Metal Alchemist like to death. I'll watch I can't even think of anything at the moment. Vinland Saga, Promised Neverland, things like that. So it varies on my mood, really.
Yeah, that's fair enough. A lot of genres there as well. My kind of genres is fantasy and romance, but I think most people who watch this podcast probably know that from the animes that I've chosen in there. They all seem to be that kind of genre. And I just thought, just before we kind of end the podcast, I was thinking Studio Ghibli kind of thing, just on a quick 1-2 go. What's your favourite Studio Ghibli film, Melina? Go.
Moving Castle. It is incredible. Also, I love that it's actually a Welsh story that was converted into an anime. I thought that was quite cool. Or an anime film.
Ah, yeah. And Azaria, what would you say yours would be?
It's 100% Spirited Away. That's definitely my favourite one.
I think I'm going to have to agree with you on the Spirited Away one. I do think that was really good as well.
See, here's something that I think my co-hosts know. As a child, I couldn't watch Spirited Away because I once watched it back when it used to come on Film 4, you know, the olden days, and yeah, it came on once and I got scared at the pig scene. I could never watch it again and I got really scared of it. I mean, I watched it a couple of years ago and I was fine. I'm fine now. I can watch it. I'm happy. But yeah, for a good couple of years there, I was like, no, I'm not watching it. It's not happening.
You know, you're not the first person to tell me that as well. I've had quite a few people tell me the same thing about that. It's weird. It's just
I don't know, the pigs, they just creeped me out.
Yeah, that's true. Does anybody have anything else to put towards before we kind of end it off?
I think one thing that I would say that I would like people to try and watch, because I have never met like another person who's watched this. I think that you should go out and watch Blood Plus. It's not the best anime. I'm not saying it's the best, but the storyline is very original. And I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't like Blood C because that was just a remake and they got rid of all the cool side characters. But yeah, I think watch Blood Plus if you can.
That's fair enough. Azara, have you got anything else to contribute?
Just one more thing that this is kind of more of a shout out kind of thing, but I want to say thank you to people who kind of participated with the poll and such on Instagram. So I'm just having a quick look through them. So we asked, you know, what's your favorite anime? We've got things like, one of them's by me, but this one wasn't actually me, but Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Whoever said that, shout out to you. I highly respect you. Hellsing Ultimate. Oh, I see Melina's in charge of the Instagram mainly.
Hell yeah.
So she tagged at Team 4-Star. Thank you.
Well,
Team 4-Star.
the abridged series for Hellsing Ultimate was incredible, and I will go back and rewatch episodes of the abridged series on YouTube, which I think everyone should do. If you like, seriously, watch Hellsing Ultimate and then watch the abridged series. I think people who do abridged series are so smart, the way that they like recapture scenes, but at the same time, like Team 4-Star kept the like nuance of the characters, which was just really cool. Yeah. But yeah, Hellsing.
Demon Slayer. I wonder who that was. And then yeah, that was it. But yeah, if we put any polls on Instagram or anything, feel free to let us know your opinion, or, you know, if there's anything you kind of want to argue against with regards to the podcast, let us know about that too. We're always
follow us on Instagram at at Flaneur Talks podcast.
Flannel.
Flaneur, sorry.
Love a good flannel.
And on Twitter as well. We might do some Twitter polls.
At Flaneur Talks. So yeah, we're always on social media, always posting, so we're always ready to answer questions. But that's it from myself.
Yeah, so if you guys just want to like and subscribe as well, this will be on our Spotify, we've got a YouTube as well, obviously the Instagram and the Twitter handles. Is there anywhere else that we're kind of posting it on? We've got the website as well.
Yeah, there will probably be a couple places. I'll add links everywhere when that's sorted.
Other than that, I just decided to say thank you for listening to this podcast, and I hope you tune in for episode 3, where we're kind of looking at uni life, so stay tuned for that kind of aspect.
Thanks guys, bye.
Bye.
Bye.